Go. Hello, viewers. This is Michael from Three Views, bringing you a new podcast to my seven called the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, keep you to understanding. Also, I talk to my best not to feature hard during this our podcast recording as well, not of course the our feedback as well. And also, if you're under 18, this our podcast recording will contain adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this our podcast recording will have adult language if you're under 18. Now, if you're over 18, then you have to watch this our podcast recording. Now, with this and anything else out the way, let's get into the topic. Let's get into the latest. Let's get into the latest episode of Go User. So basically, the Rangers. So basically, we see the gold. We see the Rangers along with the principal who has the lifting Ranger ring and the student the student president who has the power of the Path Ranger ring. Just seems like they just defeated a monster. They defeated a brainwash monster that was control over the students at the school. Seemed like they thought the job was done until another monster showed up called a Guts monster, named the Guts No.1 Guts monster showed up, and basically it looks like it has a sports theme going on to it. It shows up and basically it tried to attack the student president who was who was defenseless and but lucky for lucky for him, his principal, who was still in ranger form, took the protected him from the gut monster's attack, and therefore he was forced to be transformed. He was he was kind of hurt and whatnot. So basically, the Rangers were caught off guard with this second monster, and basically the monster. Before they would manage to retreat, the monster put up this special barrier around the school area, and basically the Rangers managed to retreat to the principal's little apartment and whatnot that was near the school. So anyway, and basically, once the Rangers left, we cut to the number 1 world where the Bartle's headquarters is at, and basically Miss Bouquet was explaining that, so basically Corn, Mr. Shiny Knife, and Miss Sweet Cake went to the school to see what the hell's going on there. Apparently, they have an operation going on there at the school, and basically okay, like Bartender said, okay, I see. What type of operation? And basically, Miss Bouquet was like, I don't know what type of operation that they had going on there, but it seemed like we were kept in the dark. It seemed like you and me are kept in the dark. About the operation that was going on at the school. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the principal's little apartment, the principal said that he let something out. He let some details out. It turns out that the Guts monster was actually has his daughter inside it. So basically, you know how number 1 monsters can appear in the human world or out of human host. So basically, so, so basically, his daughter got absorbed by the gut monster, so the gut monster was able to come into the human world. So basically, that gut monster has my daughter inside. He explained that to the Rangers and the student. And the student the student president, and basically the student president felt sorry for the whole situation because he was under that brainwashing monster to control. Now he felt sorry that he ended up causing that. So basically, the Rangers say that now we know the details. Now we know we finally now we know the details. We need to take down that guts monster and help you and help you deal with and help you and help your daughter get free from that guts monster as well. So anyway, meanwhile, at the school, you know, Mr. Shiny Knife, Miss Sweet Cake, and Corn was like, was talking to the Guts Monster, and the Guts Monster said that, turns out turns out the Guts monster and the monster with the brainwater powers were ducking an experiment at the school, by brainwashing the kids. So basically, they figure like no, maybe you can use the brainwashing monster's powers to to brainwash humans, brainwash more humans and whatnot until the principal got the litter ranger ring and the rangers showed up. Things were going great until were going great until the rangers showed up and that teacher got the litter ranger ring. Put a major monkey wrench in the operation. So basically, like so Mr. Shiny Knight and Miss Squeaky understand the situation, but Chrome was kind of hesitant about the monster. So he shot the monster, but the monster blocked the shot. It's like, what the hell are you doing? He said, I think you're full of crap. I think you're full of crap, and basically I think you're using this as an excuse to trade Queen Tega June. It's like, and the Guts monster say, let's make one thing clear, you. I know that you're June #1 ring hunter and all that, but I have 100% loyalty towards Queen June, so don't ever get that twist up. Don't ever get that twist up. And basically, Coleman was like, okay. So basically, the Guts monster said, like, now since you're here, maybe you can help me deal with the principal and the principal and the ranger. So basically, that's what Quan did. So basically, the Rangers came back to the school and basically like bump into Quan. So Quan used the so basically Quan summoned a copy of Boom Red, Boom Red, Hurricane Red and Toronto Red from Zoo Ranger. So basically he summoned the Red Ranger from Boom Ranger. He summoned the Red Ranger from Hurricane Ranger, and he summoned the Red Ranger from Zoo Ranger to challenge the Rangers to challenge the Rangers. So basically, it's some and that's when the Guts monster used his power to block the Rangers from using their wings to transform. So basically, the challenge is this: you guys will each of these three Ranger copies will challenge you guys to a trial, to do a task trial. So basically, if you guys finish all three trials, that means you guys will be able to morph again, etc., etc. But if any of you guys fail, so basically whoever fails doesn't get to participate in the next trial after and whatnot. So basically, he's just setting the rules of the trial. So basically, the first trial was a pulling challenge So each of the Rangers got a foot soldier, the airy foot soldiers to pull to a finish line that was being timed by the Red Ranger by a copy of the Red Ranger from Boom Boomer and whatnot. So basically, you know, Santino was not happy with the trial, and she decided to opt out and just quit that trial. But while the rest of the Rangers, finished the trial. Then the second trial came up, and basically, it was headed by Hurricane Red. It's headed by a copy of Hurricane Red, and Hurricane Red say, whoever can stand this fire wind attack, she shot a powerful fire tornado at the Rangers and see who can stand the heat of the fire tornado. But Machino and Kenji couldn't stand the heat, and so basically, Riku and Ryoga and Ha were the last Rangers standing and whatnot. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, some on the school rooftop, the principal went to go deal with the guts monster and try to free his daughter from inside the guts monster, but the guts monster knocked out his littering ring and basically seems like the guts monster had the upper hand against the principal against the principal. Meanwhile, the student president finally got himself together and he went to go help the Rangers and when they go help the Rangers first, they go help the teacher with the monster. So anyway, the final trial was with Zoo Red, to so basically the final trial was to fight Red, but it turns out that uh, five like nine more different Ranger copies showed up, and basically the Rangers had to not only fight Red, but and not only had to fight and defeat Red, but they had to fight nine other different Ranger copies and defeat them as well. The Rangers did their best, but Ryoga and Riku got eliminated. Got defeated by Jue and the other Ranger copies that Kwan made. So basically, it was just Hal by himself, and basically that's when the student body president showed up. So it's just temporarily he couldn't. Yeah, technically he couldn't morph and whatnot, but the rules said the rules didn't say that the Rangers could have help if someone out. It didn't say that nobody can besides them can help them and whatnot. So anyway, with the help of the student body president, and how they managed to defeat the Ranger copies along with Z Red, and basically without even morphing, and basically the trial was finished, and the Rangers were able to morph again, and the student body president went to go help his teacher to fight the Guts monster, and free his daughter. So basically, so the student body president, helped his principal to fight against the Guts monster and whatnot. So basically the so basically how and the rest of the Rangers morphed up and decided to help with the situation. So basically, Quan and Mr. Shiny Knife, and Miss Sweet Cake came to aid the Guts monster, but the rest of the Rangers showed up to help out the student president and the school principal out. So anyway, the student president transformed into Pasco Ichigo. I like to call him Pasco Red, and the principal transformed into Luther Red and whatnot to battle that was fighting the Guts monster. Meanwhile, the rest of the Rangers were fighting against the Foot Terrors and against Corn, Mr. Shinex, and Miss Sweet Kate and whatnot. So basically, they managed to force they managed to take so basically during the fights, they forced Corn outside, and that's when the Kuma Bear, Messenger Kuma Bear showed up and took the wings that Corn had on him. So basically, Corn doesn't have any more Sentai rings on him. So basically, Kuma Bear managed to steal the Sentai rings that Quan had on him and whatnot, and turned it into his own personal rings and whatnot. And basically, Mr. Shiny Knife and Miss Sweetcake used their power to make themselves grow. And basically, like instead of summoning Good Bird, Machina said, you know what? I think that I think I'm going to use the Tegasaur. So basically, he used his god powers to summon the Tegasaur, and basically using the power of the Sentai ring, he managed to gain the Tegasaur the arms of Tokyo of the Tokyo Mecha, and basically use the power of the Tokyo Mecha to combine it with the Tegazord in its mecha form, and basically took down Mr. Shiny Knife and Miss Sweet Cake, and forced them to shrink down, and forced them to retreat and whatnot. So anyway, the fight between the Gut Monster was a crazy back and forth battle, and basically the rest of the Rangers did use other Sentai rings to defeat Quan and the Foot Soldiers and whatnot. Red Ranger. So basically, Hal was in his wild boost power form, and basically the Okabucha managed to managed to managed to have the student president and the printer transform into Super Lipton Red and Super Pasto Ichigo, or I like to call him Pasto Red and whatnot, into Pasto Ichigo and Lipton Red super forms and whatnot, and working together as a team. They took down the monster and freed the principal's daughter from the monster before the monster got blown up and whatnot. So anyway, once the gut monster was destroyed, the barrier surrounding this whole school area was gone. All the students that were brainwashed and brainwashed that were trapped at the school was finally able to go home, and whatnot. So basically, after things, after after things, and so basically all the students ready to go home, and basically, the student president, the student president and the principal gave the Panther Ranger and Lifting Ranger wings to the Rangers for helping them helping them free the students and getting the principal's daughter back from that monster and whatnot. So basically, the Rangers decided to is just was happy that everything was good at the school once again, and basically the episode ended with the student you know, so basically the episode ended with the student president, making a smart remark about, about surpassing the principal one day, and basically the principal was like, was shaking him, grabbed the student president and started to shake him, and basically this is how the episode ended on this note. So anyway, this was not a bad. So basically, this was a good two-part episode to being a tribute to Path Ranger versus Lifted Ranger. So basically, it was a good episode. So anyway, we gotta think about this late episode of Go Geezer. Good, bad, or just okay. Please let me know just now. Anyway, sign off from Screen Views 1.